and welcome to the Flourishing Introvert Talks with me, Jo Rawbone. This is the podcast that celebrates the natural gifts of introverts so that we can flourish in all situations. Episode 172. Introverts, how do you invest in yourself? If you've listened to a few of my episodes, you'll be in no doubt by now that I consider personal and professional growth to be a vital aspect of leading a fulfilling life. However, for introverts, investing in themselves can be a challenging endeavour. Introverts who derive their energy from within often face unique obstacles when it comes to personal and professional development. So in this episode, I'll explore some of those reasons, some of those challenges, and offer some strategies as to how to overcome them. The first set of challenges arises because of our introverted nature, which we know is nothing that needs fixing, just needs understanding. Let's start with our preference for solitude, for reflection, and for internal processing of information. The idea of joining a course or a personal development group can seem daunting, especially if you believe that introversion, social anxiety, and misanthropy are one and the same thing. We know they are absolutely different. The reality is we can learn, grow, and develop really well in groups as long as the course leader or facilitator understands us and our processes. Of course, we need to be prepared, pre-charge ahead of time, and take time out to recharge afterwards. But all of that is manageable if the individual is committed enough. This challenge is accompanied by our ability to engage in deep introspection, and this often leads to overthinking, overanalysis, and self-doubt. This tendency can hinder our ability to make decisions confidently, particularly when it comes to investing in ourselves personally and professionally. We naturally need time to think things through, but left to our own devices, we can also talk ourselves out of those great opportunities. I remember people who were trying to sell to me get very rude and abrasive when they tried to shame me into making a decision I was not yet ready to make. I now call them out on this behaviour, and the truth is, I need someone who has my best interests at heart to talk the opportunity through with when I'm considering it. So when I say I want time to think, I genuinely mean I want time to consider the opportunity. Then there's our reluctance to self-promote. You may remember where I've previously talked about being asked for my BFD statement. And as I've said many times, I have no desire to be a big deal, but I do want to create a legacy that leaves introverts with a true sense of confidence and organisations knowing how to shift the bias. What I have to be careful of is that I don't allow my dislike of self-promotion to have me play too small. I still need to be ruffling feathers, rattling cages, and being the grain of sand in the oyster that forms the pearl. I've managed this by building strong boundaries, advocating for my needs as I role model how other introverts can do the same, and by being quietly gutsy. I've learned how to name the elephant in the room and how to discuss the undiscussable without alienating my audience. It's taken a while, but it's definitely a skill I'm glad I developed. The good thing is, I do this by playing to my strengths of observation, empathic listening, and purposeful intervention. Who says introverts don't have great skills to share? Then, if and when I do need to allow the spotlight to shine in my direction, it's for something worthwhile, not something that I find cringeworthy. We then come on to some of the other fears that introverts can get caught up in. Introverts who are also highly sensitive can react badly to criticism. Actually, strike that. Humans can react badly to criticism, which is why I go to great lengths to help people shift their feedback away from being critical to being developmental or motivational. Who wants to either give or receive critical feedback? In my younger years, I certainly worried what people thought of me and would often fantasize that they were laughing at me or judging me harshly. And notice the fantasy. It wasn't reality necessarily. Once I woke up and realized that the only person my fears and worries were hurting was me, I found a way to let it go. Does it sometimes rear its ugly head? For sure. I'm only human after all. In the words of the ancient Chinese philosopher and writer Lao Tzu, care about people's approval and you will always be their prisoner. One of the earlier blogs I wrote was about how I'd built a cage around myself that was no better than a prison. My intention now is to prevent me rebuilding a prison of imagined thoughts that can hold me back. I'm willing to take considered risks, pursue new opportunities to see where they lead, and ask for actionable feedback on my personal and professional experiments. And that's all life is really, a series of grand experiments, and I'd like to enjoy my experimentation as I'm learning from my experiments. Along with the fear of disapproval comes the fear of rejection. They are close relations, I've noticed, and I have felt this many times, mostly from my imagined reality rather than actuality. Choosing not to worry about rejection is a thin line to walk when I'm experimenting. If it happens, and the world still goes on. We can overthink it, catastrophize, and even hide away shamefaced. But it's probably only us who remembers the faux pas, the little slip, or the mistake that we made. Back in episode 159, I talked about our learning edge and how if we want to live fulfilled lives, we need to be straddling the competency zone and the learning edge. Staying too long only in our comfort zone is a surefire way to contract and reduce who we are. So, apply for that job. Go to that pottery class you wanted to attend. Book yourself into salsa classes. We are all just learning, and if someone says something mean, it says more about their insecurity than it does about you. The only fears we're born with are falling and loud noises. All of the others are learned. So if we took the trouble to learn all of those fears, with our neuroplasticity, we can unlearn them. We just have to want to. So my question for you, dear listener, is this. Are you tired enough of your fears to finally let them go? Answers on a postcard, please. Seriously, you know where it starts. It starts with building confidence. I've talked about that topic many times and will continue to do so because it's one of the foundation stones of our flourishing. When you can be confident enough to be vulnerable, confident enough to ask for and accept help, confident enough to make mistakes and not beat yourself up, you really are on the road to a fulfilled life. These things give you the keys to unlock the doors of your self-imposed prison so that you can emerge and blossom into the true you. As someone put it recently, in all of your flawsomeness. Investing in yourself in whatever form it takes reaps the rewards you so rightly deserve. And as you further your life and career, remember to pace yourself so you don't tip from overwhelm through introvert hangover into burnout. Manage your energy, be discerning and schedule those charging times, and hold them sacrosanct. If you don't dare to join an activity or a course because you know you'll be exhausted, plan your replenishment carefully. Better to do that than to deny yourself your fulfilled life. Look for opportunities that encourage you to develop in ways that work for you. Is there sufficient space designed in for your reflection, your introspection and your imagineering? Does it align with your overall direction in life? Does it align with your ikigai if you've completed that exercise? And if you haven't, I strongly suggest that you do. It can save a lot of aimless or futile investment. And I should know. Do you have a small network of people you really trust? This is one way we as introverts can be more efficient. You see, if we consciously build our reciprocal network of those who are happy to serve and support us in specific ways, it saves a lot of time and anxiety. I have my business mentor, my business coach, my personal coach, my accountability buddies, my 3 a.m. friend, my financial advisor, my imagineering buddy, and my effort friend, to name but a few. We agree how we will support each other and understand completely if we don't hear from each other for a few weeks. We don't get upset with each other. We understand. We're not in each other's pockets, but when we need one another, we're there, no question. My network is not so big that I feel any kind of unwanted obligation, but like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, my bowl of support is just right, for now, and we explore when things need to change. I don't set myself unrealistic goals anymore. I used to until I realised that intentions work much better for me than goals. I do me, and you can do you. Don't be pushed to work in a way that doesn't feel right for you. It's taken me far too long to learn that. All in all, I've found ways to really play to my strengths, stay open to suggestions and be discerning. Yes, that's another fine line, but it's shown its value time and time again. So many organisations encourage and reward CPD, but many introverts undertake the bare minimum technical stuff, fearing their sanity if they engage in more personal development. I'm here to encourage you to find the keys to your prison door when you're ready, so that you can release yourself from the expectations of others and release yourself from your own fears. They are rarely manifest, and when we do engage in things, most times we end up enjoying it and reaping the benefits. Start small if you need to, and align your investments in yourself with where you want to be. There are so many great books and short self-directed online courses these days. There's bound to be something that's just right for you right now. And don't forget, I'm now taking inquiries from people about the Confidence to Flourish group coaching program. I'll put a link in the show notes for you to book a call with me, because if a course isn't the right thing for you, then let's have a chat about group coaching. While investing in personal and professional growth can present challenges for introverts, it's by no means an insurmountable task. By valuing our true nature and recognising the specific obstacles that individually we face, we introverts can develop really effective strategies to overcome them. Ultimately, it's important for us as introverts to remember that self-investment is a personal journey. It's about honouring our authentic selves, identifying our unique strengths, and pursuing growth in a manner that aligns with our preferences and our future. By navigating the obstacles and embracing our introverted nature, we can unlock our full potential, achieve personal and professional fulfillment, and make meaningful contributions to the world around us. It really is your time to flourish. If you enjoyed this episode as much as I did, then please subscribe, rate us and leave a comment, because we know that helps other people find the podcast. And if other people find us, other introverts can flourish.
This has been a Monkey Pants Productions podcast.